Hello guys, Prescient here, and in this video I'm going to sort of do like an initial meta read. It's going to include new comps as well as old comps from previous patch, and sort of like where they land slash like how they shifted, based off of my personal experience playing a good amount of games over the past 2 days and stats. Okay, so what I have laid out in front of me is sort of every single comp. This covers like most comps. It's the comps that are being played slash like starting to see play slash saw lots of play last patch, and I basically just like shifted them around based off of my personal opinion playing as well as browsing the stats of every region. Okay, to start off, we have Ahri. I have Ahri here, and you may know the Ahri board as like the Zoe Reroll board with Poppy and Lillia. The way that comp is like supposed to be played has kind of like shifted. You don't really itemize Zoe anymore. It's Ahri primary. Ahri primary is much better than Zoe, and in my opinion, it is the best comp of the patch. If there is like a comp to 2020, it's probably this if you want to climb. It's not like too reliant on like hitting like a spatula or anything, and it's just like the baseline of this comp is extremely high. The next best comp I have in S tier is Rumble. It's the Molten Caramel. It's a Rumble hero augment. It got buffed, and Rumble is really good. Like if you play it, you can just see it's really good. It's doing pretty well in the stats. I played it and I've seen it a few times, and it just seems to be like a strong comp in the patch. Also put Ryze in S just for a portal. When I'm talking about like when you have portal +1, I think Ryze deserves to be in S tier, although it's like at the bottom of S tier, which is why I have it like on the edge here. Portal +1 is just really good. Like the tempo of it's really good. It's like a pretty cheap board for how much power it has. When you don't have portal +1 and you're playing around Ryze, I would move Ryze down and definitely out of S tier. I'd probably move it into like near the bottom of A, depending on how you play it. You can play it like four scholar, and it just depends on what you hit. Like I wouldn't really recommend playing 4 scholar without like a Milio or something like that. But Ryze is a little more on the flexible side. He is like a unit that you can just like grab on level 8 if you have AP items. It's not like always the best thing to do that, but it's like he's a lot more clickable than he was last patch as like an item holder compared to Karma. Now moving on to A, at the top of A we have Viegar. Viegar Vex Reroll is a really strong comp in the meta right now. The only issue is that it is a money hungry comp. You need really good frontline items and you need a lot of money to play this comp. And yeah, but I think I think Vex Veigar has like one of like an extremely high cap as well, just because like the nature of Veigar works. Like he's always gonna be permanently scaling with the more charms you get, and he has a really strong cap by being incentivized to buy a bunch of charms. And like once you do hit Veigar, eventually you can get into Xerath, and once you put Xerath Arcana in, you'll just have like a lot of Drew damage from buying charms quite frequently, which is why I think Veigar deserves to be at the top of A, although he does need something like, say, like Scuttle Puddle or like March of Progress or something like that. The next comp in A is Varus. This Varus is extremely good. I would probably move him at the top of A slash potentially into S, with Pyro +1. Like honestly, without Pyro +1, it's probably like moved a little more down into A, but I'll just leave it here because it's Pyro +1, and Pyro +1 is really good. Yeah, Pyro Smolder is just super strong, and Varus, like the cast time for Varus got like shortened this patch, and he just feels a lot better than last patch. I have Wukong here for the Wukong hero augment. I think the Wukong hero augment is extremely strong. Spin to win. When I do see it, it kind of just taps everything. Like I don't know, like I just like from personal experience, it's like, I just think Wukong is extremely strong. This is not, I'm not talking about like, you know, like other Wukong variants. Like for example, I have Jinx here, like Jinx Wukong reroll. I have like Wukong here specifically for his hero augment. Here the next one I have Kalista. Kalista is like the Rage Raid level 8 board, Rage Raid Last Whisper. Kalista is usually played with Fiora. I don't have Fiora in here because like on this list, because I don't know, I don't really see Fiora as like a primary carry. I feel like she's always like with someone. Like before it was with Karma, now with like Kalista is like, you know, like more viable. It was like okay before, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really think warriors, like vertical 4-cost warriors, is like a thing, so I don't have that there. But Kalista comes with Fiora in most cases. Usually duo carry both of them, and yeah, Kalista feels better this patch. Here I have Lillia. This is for the high horsepower augment. High horsepower is extremely good in the stats, but I personally have not played it, but I think it seems like they like think it's like pretty good. So like people that I like respect, so I'm down to just put Lillia up here, based off of like respected opinions as well as stats. Galio I also have up here. I don't know if I'd put Galio above Lillia. Honestly, I'd probably put Galio above Lillia. I do think Galio is really strong. I do think Rumble is like a really good tank unit, as well as Galio. Like Deja Vu is like a really strong line to play right now. if you're able to get both of them, hit Rumble and Galio, and get that board online. Yeah, I just think Galio is good. His items are quite strict though, and yeah, that about covers it for A. Moving on to B, I have 7 Frost here. Frost Emblem is doing really well in the stats. I am just personally not a very big fan of Olaf. Like, I think there's a chance that, like, you know, like, or like 7 Frost, like, definitely probably deserves to be in A. I just don't think Olaf is still like quite good. I think 7 Frost is good, but yeah, it also depends on, like, you know, what you can get into the 7 Frost. Like, Diana is like pretty important, and like just like 7 Frost, like purely just like 3 items on Olaf, like nothing else. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Olaf. But I could be like convinced that like Olaf belongs in A, which is why I put him at the top of B. Outside of 7 Frost, I would probably never click on Olaf. And next we have Kassadin. Kassadin is like a comp from previous patch that was extremely dominant. But I like, even like with the nerf, I still think Kassadin is like still good. Like, I don't think you can play Kassadin from like a bad spot, like mid to like bad spot. Like kind of like last patch. I think you need to play Kassadin from a good spot. And when you do play Kassadin from a good spot, I think he's still like pretty good. I played 2 games with Kassadin, and I think my scores I think are 1-2 this patch so far. And I've seen like a decent amount of Kassadin. Like, sometimes it doesn't do well. Sometimes it does like do pretty well. But yeah, you just need to know like what to angle Kassadin from. And it's not like just like a Rage Blade or something like that. You need like you know, like some sort of augment or like artifact anvil to help you propel into Kassadin. Now onto Jinx. This is a Jinx this is like a comp that was played in last patch that wasn't like nearly as good as it is now, in my opinion. With the I think it's Endless Frenzy, the Hunter augment. That augment is pretty good. You can go 4 Hunter with that and just roll Jinx Wukong on 7. If you don't hit that, you can also just go like 2 Hunter and just go like more Preservers or something. And reroll, primary focus is reroll Jinx Wukong. I do think Jinx Wukong is much better than, or like is better than before because like the Wukong buff, and as well as like something like the Syndra nerf. It just helps like other comps, like, you know, like see more light. Karma, I have Karma from like, because the last patch, I still think Karma is playable this patch. It's just Karma's not like nearly as broken as she was before. I think she's still like okay. Karma, in my opinion, is like still like her damage didn't change at all. Like, she still has like a good chunk of damage. But it's like Karma is strong if your board is strong. You need a strong board for Karma to be strong, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like that's like pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think that's a good explanation, but I don't know. I played a little bit of Karma, and she like still feels like okay. It's actually like clickable from the right spots. But yeah, you can't just like hard force Karma and just pray that it works. Here I have Katarina. Katarina did get buffed, and what I have Katarina here for is Warrior Reroll. I have not tried Vertical Fairy Reroll. I've only tried like Vertical Warrior, and it seemed to be like okay. I would probably. I think it's just like okay. She was like pretty shit last patch, and she got buffed this patch. But yeah, I don't know. I think from what I'm told, there's a bug right now, like as of right now, with 6 Fairy. So I don't really know. Like, it's not like a confirmed bug, so I don't really know like about that. So I just haven't tried for 6 Fairy Katarina yet. Kog'Maw, I think is like kind of playable. I think he's okay. Like, I would like probably like suboptimal to like try and like play Kog'Maw, but like if you're high rolling it, then it's like, you know, like it can't be that bad. Like, odds are like you probably won't win. Kog'Maw has just like in general has like an extremely low win rate as a comp. Yeah, and then moving on to D tier, we have Syndra. I think she sucks. Yeah, she was the queen of last patch. Now I think she sucks. I don't really think I really need to go much into that. I don't know. I just think she sucks. Well, I think that about covers it for like this like sort of like meta read. Like, this again, like this is like a meta read based off like my games I played over the past 2 days, as well as stats. And I will try to give like maybe like in like 5 days or so, like about like a week, I'll try to do like an updated version of this. So, and I'll try to make this like a more like like a reoccurring thing. So for like every patch, like maybe like 2 to 3 days in, I'll release a video on like sort of like what it looks like / like where the comps, I personally rank the comps right now. And then like another week into the patch, I'll try to give like a like as the meta progresses, like, you know, like where things shift from like my initial meta read. Okay, all right, thank you, bye bye.